Hey guys, I'm back with another writing video, and this time I want to talk about our checklist, and I want you to set a goal. Um, I want you to think about, what am I doing well in my writing, in my realistic fiction writing? It's still early in the unit, but what are you doing well, and what do you need to work on next? And I want you to make sure you're really reading your writing and picking out what you do well and what you need to work on. So I'm attaching the first grade checklist, which is also in the writing tools. The only thing that's different, the one in the writing tools I did change. The first one, the first overall says I wrote about when I did something. It really should say I wrote about when the character did something, because we're making up a character. But the narrative checklist, the checklist for realistic fiction, is the same as the one for small moment writing, because they're both narrative writing, story writing. Okay? So just keep in mind that the first part is when the character did something. Of course, you need your lead, and which is the introduction, your transition words. You have an ending to the story, which we talked about. Make sure it's organized. You wrote across pages. Even if you're writing in your notebook, make sure you're writing across the pages. And then if I go to the next page, this is the adding details in the craft, elaborating. I put the picture from my mind onto the pages. I added details in the pictures and the words. That's going to give the reader the picture in their mind. And then the craft, did you use labels and words to give details? You can even use comparisons like we used in poetry writing. Something is like something else to give the reader, he ran for the ball as fast as a cheetah. And make sure you add all those details and bring your story to life. You can even use big bold words to stand out, or capitals to make somebody that's shouting. And then on the last page, of course, is the spelling and punctuation, like in every checklist that we've used. Make sure you're spelling the word wall words correctly. Use what you know about word families and long vowels and all of that that we learned. Make sure you have periods and exclamations and question marks, capital for names, commas in a list, okay? Capitals for dates, anything that you're putting that you know needs a capital. Okay, so, and I'm going to tell you a little secret. I'm also attaching the second grade checklist, because some of you, I think, are ready for the grade 2 checklist. And we always want to say to ourselves, I can do more. Remember, that's like our growth mindset that I taught you at the beginning of the year. You always say, I can do more. And maybe some of you want to try the second grade checklist. I also put in, attached to this lesson, one that looks like this, that compares grade 1 to grade 2. What you should be doing in grade 1 and what you'll be expected to do in grade 2. You can use that if you like. And then I also put the one that has pre-K, K, or kindergarten, first grade, and second grade. And you can see how the expectations change as you go through the grades. And if you're doing grade 2 work now, then you are a 4. If you're doing grade 1 work now, you're a 3, and so on. Okay? But we're going to use the grade 1 checklist, and I want to look at this boy named Miles. I included Miles's story in here, and then I also included Nora's, a little bit of Nora's story, okay, where she used dialogue to stretch out the trouble, and she used quotation marks. I just wanted to show you that. But I want to use the checklist to look at Miles' work. So Miles, he wrote a story, and it says, I see a lot of words right away. It says, one spring day, Chester was going to Six Flags. He is 7 years old. It was really hot out. He was with his mom. He wanted to go on a ride, but then his mom said, stop. He stopped. Now, page 2. Why do I have to stop? Because that ride is for babies, and you are not a baby. But no, but you have to go. Why? Because that is for babies. Page 3. Later, they were right in, later they were right in front. This is hard to read. Later they were right in front. He pushed her and said no and ran. His mom tried to catch him, but she could not catch him. Next, he ran so fast. She stopped and said, "You are going to be punished if you do not stop." Page 5. Finally, he stopped and went to the roller coaster, and he learned to not push his mom. He liked the roller coaster. Now, that's the end of the story. Now, let's look at our checklist. So, did he write about a time when the character did something? Yes. Let's see, did he have an introduction? Well, it said one spring day, Chester was going to Six Flags. Yes. Did he have transition words? Yes. He said, one day he had the word later. That's a transition word. He's moving the story along. He said, he added next. Yes, he has transition words. Did he have an ending? Yes, he had an ending. He said that he went on the roller coaster and he liked the roller coaster. And he learned, and even said what he learned. That's called putting the lesson in the story. Did he write across the pages? Yes, he had 5 pages. And they were all in order.